is Ilya. I have the dubious distinction of being one of the first graduates of RSM, as well as also being the reason it needed to be created. Somewhere in 7th grade, my parents suddenly discovered that I didn't actually have the ability to add two fractions that were different to save my life. This became a family emergency that required immediate response. They started teaching me math at the kitchen table. That was painful for everyone, so they brought in tutors. That was very painful for the tutors. They kind of stepped back to reevaluate options at that point and realized that a lot of parents were actually struggling with the same problem. So they grouped those parents and their children, willing or unwilling, together to create a math class. As it turned out, those classes were a turning point for me academically. Now in the beginning they felt a little bit like I was getting dropped into the NFL boot camp without ever having seen a football game. I felt very out of shape mathematically, and the classes were very intense. But as we cut through it, it totally changed how I thought about math, from a subject to a way of thinking about problems. And that mindset really carried me through high school. It certainly opened up things like math classes, AP tests, SAT tests, but it also opened up subjects like debate, physics classes, as a way of thinking about the problems I saw in that class. It also gave me a lot more time to focus on my extracurriculars, and ultimately helped me get into Cornell. I didn't know really what I wanted to do with my comp sci degree coming out of college. I certainly wanted something new, something challenging. I joined a hedge fund, and again, I really didn't know what to expect. Didn't expect to find myself relearning all of economics over the next 6 months. And as I started talking to people, it became clear that this company had a vision that if they were able to find people who could think independently, they could teach them almost anything else, including economics. Fairly shocking for a company that was regarded as the preeminent macro player in the world. As I started boiling it down, it was interesting that essentially the company wanted 4 ingredients in a person. They wanted someone who could think critically, logically, independently, and yet creatively about any problem they encountered. And they were confident that on that foundation they could develop any skill. I was curious about this, and I started talking to friends I had in other industries, and it actually seemed pretty universal. There was a stark demand for someone who could genuinely think. And yet, even in our best colleges, the supply was very low. Everything came to a head for me about 2.5 years ago when I first saw the ultrasound that would introduce me to my daughter. It dawned on me at that point that I would have to teach this child how to succeed in a world that would keep changing around her. I would essentially have to teach her how to think. I didn't know where to start. So I started thinking back, where did I learn the skills I use every day? And everything started pulling me back towards RSM. It was fascinating to connect with the school, now as a parent, or about to be a parent, and find that in their curriculum were embedded a lot of the questions that I've been struggling with. How do you teach a child to think? How do you teach a child to solve new problems? Essentially, how do you give her the tools she needs to succeed later on in life? As I began to learn more about RSM, I became more and more excited about what it was actually doing, and became equally more frustrated about the fact that there was nothing like it in a lot of the places I wanted to live and a lot of the places my friends were already living. It began to dawn on me that it was going to have to be the responsibility of people like me who'd gone through it and also had the experience in sort of industry to spread it, to bring it to other communities, other parents. I went back and forth on it. It wasn't an easy thing, but about 6 months ago, I made the leap. I joined RSM full-time with the goal of bringing it to more communities, bringing it to more parents, letting other people have the experience I had that I find very important. It's everything we've talked about. It's the idea that if you give kids a solid mathematical foundation, it gives them the advantage to become anything they want to be in this life. So I'm here. And it's been an exciting couple of months. I feel like just over the past 2 days, I've met about 200 parents. And each of them have shared my enthusiasm for the school, offered great suggestions, asked great questions, and really helped me understand what the school means for their kids. I really hope to meet all of you soon.